Hey, fifth graders, we are getting close to ending our book, The Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's Library. And today we're going to be reading chapters 47, 48, and 49 in this segment. And so we are on page 240. And just to recap what we read or what you read in the last couple of chapters, we had a couple of things happen. Andrew Peckelman got kicked out of the library because he was caught cheating. He swapped library cards and broke into Team Kyle's conference room and was looking through their materials, and Mr. Lemoncello caught him. And so he got kicked out, even though it was Charles who made him do it. The other thing was Haley Daly switched teams, and she asked Mr. Lemoncello if it would be okay, and he said that it was fine. So Charles is left all by himself. One of the other things that we find out is that Mr. Lemoncello himself does not even know the secret exit to the library. That Dr. Zinchenko is the one who knows the design for the exit to the library. So even Mr. Lemoncello does not know the exit. It's a birthday present for him. And they have 4 hours, or actually now they're down to 3 hours, to the time limit on the finding of the exit. And the other thing that happens is Charles is now laying out all his cards with the pictures on them, trying to figure out what the pictures are saying. And he's not quite sure what they are, and he wants to call an expert. So that is where we are at the end of chapter 46. So now we're going to begin reading. Okay, so chapter 47. Eager to find out all he could in the final minutes before the Dewey Decimal doors reopened on the second floor, Kyle listened as Haley Daly detailed everything she had learned on Team Charles. Meanwhile, Akimi added Andrew's and Haley's library cards to the list on the whiteboards in Community Meeting Room B. We were piecing together a picture puzzle, said Haley. It was like a memory match game, or that old TV show, Concentration. We played one of those too, said Miguel. A rebus. Right. So far, I'm pretty sure it says something like, you walk out the way bandits crawled in. Thou shalt not steal, said Kyle, tapping the Bible verse they had found in the 200s room. That points to bandits, too. And the blackbird, said Sierra. It wailed like a police siren. Chasing bandits. Hang on, said Miguel. What about Willy Wonka? Were there criminals in the chocolate factory? No, said Sierra. And what about this, said Akimi, pointing at the list of library cards. I added the new cards, but it still doesn't make much sense. So we have the list of books and authors on the backs of the library cards again. So number 1, Miguel Fernandez. Incident at Hawks Hill by Alan Eckert. And No David by David Shannon. Number 2, Akimi Hughes. One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish by Dr. Seuss. And 9 Stories by J.D. Salinger. Number 3, Andrew Peckelman. He had 6 Days of the Condor by James Grady and 8 Cousins by Louisa May Alcott. And then number 4, Bridget Wadge had Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing by Judy Blume and Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling. Then number 5, Sierra Russell's had The Egypt Game by Zilpha Keatley Snyder and The Westing Game by Ellen Raskin. And number 6, Yasmin Smith Snyder had Around the World in 80 Days by Jules Verne and The Yak Who Yelled Yuck by Carol Pugliano Martin. Number 7 with Sean Keegan had Olivia by Ian Falconer and Unreal by Paul Jennings. Then number 8, Haley Daly, this is a new one, had Turtle in Paradise by Jennifer L. Halm and A Wrinkle in Time by Madeline Langall. Number 9, Rose Vermette, All of a Kind Family by Sydney Taylor and Scat by Carl Hyacin. And number 10, Kayla Corson, Anna to the Infinite Power by Mildred Ames and Where the Sidewalk Ends by Shel Silverstein. Number 11 is Charles Chiltington's, which is still unknown. And number 12, Kyle Keeley, I Love You, Stinky Face by Lisa McCourt and The Napping House. Wow, said Haley, what a mess. Tell me about it, said Akimi. I don't think it's another author title game, said Sierra. I like Up on the Wonder Dome. Huh? Said Haley. Long story, said Miguel. We'll save it for later. What we need, said Kyle, is some kind of clue to show us how to unscramble this list. Remember what Dr. Zinchenko said when the game started? Your library cards are the keys to everything you will need. This clue is the big one, guys. We need to crack it. That's when Mr. Lemoncello popped his head in the door. Hello, hope I'm not interrupting. We have 20 minutes till the doors open upstairs. Anybody up for an extreme challenge? Chapter 48, page 244. In case you forgot, said Mr. Lemoncello, extreme challenges are extremely challenging and sometimes extremely dangerous. Is Charles doing one? asked Akimi. He might. I'm going to ask him if he'd like to next. Mr. Lemoncello had changed out of his judge's costume into some kind of cat burglar outfit. Black pants, ribbed black turtleneck, and sporty black beret. A beret is like a little flat French hat. Is that costume a clue? Asked Haley. Because it goes with the whole bandit theme. Don't know, but Dr. Zinchenko told me to wear it for the big finale. Is there going to be a finale? Maybe with Charles, mumbled Kyle. We're sort of stuck. At least till 11, added Sierra. That's when the most important clue will appear on the ceiling. Really, said Mr. Lemoncello. That Dr. Zinchenko. The woman knows how to build suspense. So let's do the extreme challenge, said Haley. What do we have to lose? The whole game, said Akimi. Not for all of us, said Kyle. I'll do the challenge. After all, I'm the team captain. You are, said Haley. We had an election, said Akimi, yesterday. Oh, cool. But Kyle, said Miguel, if you blow the extremes challenge, you lose, bro. Not if my team wins. No, said Mr. Lemoncello, if you lose, Kyle, you lose. You will not be allowed to share in the big prize. Fine. I'm going with you, said Haley. No, you're not, said Mr. Lemoncello. I have to. Look, we both know I'd be a famous spokesmodel for your games and stuff, but I can't just glom on everything Kyle and his team have already dug up. I have to earn my place on this team. Sorry, Haley. Extreme challenges are, and always will be, solo efforts. But Mr. Lemoncello held up his hand. No buts. Kyle must face this challenge alone. However, yes? The rest of you can watch his progress on the video screens and cheer him on over the intercom system. You are a cheerleader, aren't you, Haley? Yep, said Kyle, but she's never cheered for me. Well, I will this time, I promise. Excellent, said Mr. Lemoncello. By the way, Kyle, there is no backing out once you commit to the challenge. Fine, said Kyle. Let's do it. Go, Kyle, go, shouted Haley. Akimi flinched. A warning next time, please? Sorry. Mr. Lemoncello touched his ear again. Here is your extreme challenge. Dr. Zinchenko tells me the answer you seek. He paused to listen. The key to this code is a memory box that holds the mother lode. What? Mr. Lemoncello shrugged. Sorry, I don't write them. I only recite them. There's more. Forget the Industrial Revolution. My first idea is your certain solution. The room was silent. Mr. Lemoncello touched his ear once more and continued. And now it's time for the addendum. Huh? A last-minute addition. The box has been here, but now it is there. Poor Kyle, your fate is up in the air. Mr. Lemoncello stood there grinning for several seconds. Is that it? Said Kyle. Yes, find what you're looking for before the second floor doors open, and it is yours. Fail, and you, Kyle, will be eliminated from the game, and your team, due to that series of unfortunate events, will be forced to struggle on without you. Good luck. You have 15 minutes. And Mr. Lemoncello left the room. Dude, said Miguel, shaking his head, you are so dead. Wait a second, said Haley. I think I know how to find what Mr. Lemoncello was talking about. You do? Said Kyle. I better. I'm the one who moved it from here to there. Chapter 49. Page 248. Now then, Charles, said Mr. Lemoncello, would you like to utilize any of your remaining lifelines? Perhaps an extreme challenge? And ask an expert? Yes, sir, said Charles, and may I just say it's kind of you to come in here and ask me that question. Well, it's cloudy with a chance of meatballs, and I had nothing better to do. Pardon? Nothing, just a brief flight of fancy, my mind sailing off past the phantom toll booth. So, which lifeline would you like to use? My ask an expert, sir. Fine. See Mrs. Tobin at the main desk. I must go to my office to monitor Kyle's extreme challenge. What's he doing? Trying to beat you. Toodles. Mr. Lemoncello raised his beret by its stem, turned on his heel, and headed for one of the bookcases on the far side of the rotunda. Charles watched him tilt back the head on a bust and press a red button in the middle of what had been the man's neck. A door-sized section of the bookcase swung open. Mr. Lemoncello stepped into the darkness. The bookcase swung shut. Charles hurried to the librarian's desk at the center of the rotunda reading room. Mrs. Tobin. He clapped his hands. Mrs. Tobin, chop, chop. I'm in a bit of a rush. The doors upstairs will be open in 13 minutes. Mrs. Tobin. The holographic librarian finally appeared. Good morning, Charles. How may I help you? I need to use my Ask an Expert. Very well. Whom do you wish to consult with? Someone who knows his way around the library. If that is all you require, Charles, perhaps I can be of assistance. I need to talk to my Uncle Jimmy. Your Uncle Jimmy? Could you please be more specific? Yes, of course. James F. Willoughby III. The James F. Willoughby III? Yes, ma'am. The head librarian of the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C. is your uncle? That's right. If my mother's brother, Uncle Jimmy, the top librarian in all of America, can't help me find the one book I'm looking for, nobody can. And that's the end of this little section. We will read chapters 50 and 51 next.